Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am the Channeling Goddess. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a reading all about the places in our lives where we are selling ourselves short. So a lot of times in life we don't realize that we could be moving so much further in life, or we could do so many other things, but we often sell ourselves short. Maybe it's because of parents or siblings or children or co-workers or whatever the case may be, or even ourselves, where we've made ourselves feel small and we've played small in certain places, and we're selling ourselves short because we could be doing so much more and so many different things. Okay, so we're going to do a pick a pile here. So I have two cards in front of me. First card is the Eye of the Needle. It says intentionality. Pile number 2 is Drifter, experience life as it comes. Now I will be doing this reading, or these readings, for a collective of people. So if you are looking for a very specific message or something that resonates with you, my first suggestion would be to set the intention that you get signs from spirit or your ancestors or your spirit guides that you are in the right reading, whether that be a color, a place, person, thing, animal, whatever the case may be. Set the intentions now so that you can see that during the reading, so that you know you are on the right path and you are in the right reading. Second, I would say that if you are looking to get in touch with your own intuition, it is helpful that you tap into Mother Gaia, so putting your feet in the earth. If you cannot do that, then just maybe take some mindful deep breaths. I normally take 3 mindful deep breaths. I inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. This just helps you get more in touch with your own intuition and help you receive the messages that are meant for you. Okay, so I will get started and I will see you in your pile. Make sure that you check the timestamps below for your time, and I'll see you there. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Eye of the Needle, intentionality, then this is your pile. The first thing that I am getting with this card is I literally heard the eye of the storm. For some of you, you may be in the eye of the storm. Now, the storm itself, if you're thinking tornado, right? If you're thinking tornado, the eye of the tornado is actually the calmest place to be. And some of you may feel like you're in the midst of the calm before the storm, right? Because at some point, unless the tornado just dissipates, you have to go through the storm to get out of it, okay? So for some of you, you may feel like you went through, so like I'm getting the vision of like kingdoms who went through a time of war, and then they went through a time of peace, and then somebody else came along and now it's back to a time of war. And Spirit is saying they're asking you to be very intentional, be very precise about how you move through this storm, right? You can move through this storm with ease. You can move through, because you know, for some of you, you know that something is coming, right? You feel it in your energy, and it does not necessarily have to be bad, but you have to be very intentional about how you move through this storm. For others of you where that does not resonate, Spirit is saying that you have not been as intentional as you need to be. You have not been as focused. There has been something that Spirit has given you to do and you have not done it, or you have not been intentional about being consistent with what it is that Spirit has been asking you to do. For some of you, this is your meditation practice. For some of you, Spirit has given you a money-making idea and you have not kept up with that idea. You may not even believe that this idea could bear fruit for you, and that's why you're slacking. And Spirit is asking you to not only to not slack, but to move into this, but be intentional about what you're doing. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you are doing a tarot card reading and you want to make $10,000 from the video that you post, okay? Be intentional and set the intention prior to you making the video to say, Spirit, I set the intention that this card, this particular tarot deck or tarot reading that I'm doing right now will bring me in $10,000 for the month, and I'll be able to pay all my bills or whatever the case may be. And I just saw 222. And I'm just using an example. This doesn't have to be something that you do, but I'm using an example. Spirit is asking you to be very intentional about the things that you're doing, because right now you're just doing them and you have no intent behind them. For some of you, this is about love. You haven't been intentional about the love that you want to bring into your life. You keep saying, Spirit, I want love, I want love, I want love, but you have not been intentional about what you want to bring into your life, okay? And this is where you're selling yourself short. This is why things are not happening the way that you want them to, because you're not being intentional about what you want. So like, say what I talked about with the tarot card reading, right? You do tarot card readings, but you're like, I'm just going to follow spirit, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely 110% follow spirit. But if you are looking for something else from doing these tarot readings or whatever it is that you are doing, you need to be intentional about what it is your expectations are. It is okay. I want to say this, okay? Because sometimes people make you feel bad for wanting to make money off of your craft, wanting to make money off of the things that spirit has guided you to do. And it is okay to ask spirit, hey, like, and I just saw 333. Spirit, I would like to make money from what it is that I do. I would like to do this full time so that I don't have to have like a 9-to-5 job. Be intentional about what it is that you want to do, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for wanting to make money from what it is that you do. I hate when people have that connotation that, oh, because it's spiritual, you shouldn't make any money from it. That's very disheartening to those of us who put a lot of work into what it is that we do. There's a lot of time it takes to do these things. Sometimes your energy is completely drained after you do these, and it's important that if you are going to do this and you want to do this full time, then be intentional and set your intentions with spirit about what your expectations are with whatever you're doing. Now, it doesn't have to be tarot reading. I'm just using it as an example. I myself am an oracle reader, but you could use, like, I'm using this as an example to show you where you are selling yourself short. Okay. So I don't know. I don't feel called to read this one from the book, so I'm not going to read it from the book. I am going to get some cards and see what message spirit has all about the Eye of the Needle intentionality card and for pile number 1. So spirit, we're talking about where we're selling ourselves short. Spirit, can you give me some cards for pile number 1? Thank you. We have, wow, the runaway, secrets running from problems. We have the wing. So it says self-protection, dual natures. Okay, let's get some more cards. Oops. I don't know if some of you have a cat, but I feel like I just heard a cat. So we have the fate. It said accepting help and guidance. And I'm going to get this other one that's on the floor. So it says the priest, perseverance, faith. Actually, I want to move these back so you can still see the card. That's perfect. Okay, and we'll get 2 more cards and then bottom deck energy. Can we get 2 more cards, please, Spirit? Thank you. We have the muse, generosity, naivete. 1 more card, please, and bottom deck energy. Oops. Oop-de-doop. 1 more card, please. 1 more card. We have, thank you. We have the musician, inspiration, gratitude. Bottom deck energy is the diviner, divine timing, evolution, or evaluation, sorry. All right, so let's talk about it. Your first card is the runaway. So it says secrets running from problems. I feel like part of your lack of intentionality, or part of our lack of intentionality, is that we are afraid of what the outcome might be. We're afraid that if we ask spirit for what it is that we want. Okay, so there's 2 examples I'm getting here. We're afraid that if we ask spirit for what we want and we get it and we don't like it, we can't go back to spirit and say, hey, you know, I thought this was something else and it's not. I would like to do blah, 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 or I would like to say or get or receive blah, blah, blah. We're afraid to do that. So because we don't know what the outcome will be, we won't do anything. We won't be intentional about anything. And instead of like choosing, we're running away from the problems. We're hiding secrets within ourselves. And some of those secrets are the fact that we want more. Sometimes you are given something and you want more than what you're actually giving, from spirit, but you feel guilty for asking for more. And spirit is saying, be intentional about where you ask. Sometimes we don't know something is not what we want until we have it in our hand. Spirit is not going to fault you for that, but you need to be intentional. And sometimes it's a learning lesson, right? Sometimes if you say, spirit, let's say, like, example, spirit, I want a car, right? And spirit give you a car, but in 2 weeks, the car is broken down, right? So be intentional about what you want. Say, spirit, I would love a car, a really nice car that was made between the years of 2022 and 2025. I want it to be a luxury vehicle. I want it to have 0 miles on it. I want to make sure that for the next 8 to 10 years, I don't have to buy a car, that the repairs are not that high. Like, be intentional about what you're asking for, because there's a reason why you're asking for this. You could be asking for this because you can't afford a car note. You can't afford to not have a car to take you back and forth to work. You have kids that you have to take back and forth to school. Be intentional about what you're asking from spirit, and don't let your desires be tainted by the fact that other people have made you feel bad because you want the things that you want. Okay. Then we have the twins. It says self-protection, dual natures. To me, this is kind of what the runaway card talks about. We're being self-protective of ourselves because we're like, oh, well, I don't want to ask spirit for this because spirit may think I'm asking for too much, right? When the truth is your natural state of being is abundance. That is your natural state of being. Spirit just needs you to be intentional about what it is that you want to do. Be intentional about what it is that you want to ask for. There is dual nature, right? There are things that you may want today and you may not want tomorrow, right? People grow, people evolve over time. So let's say what you're asking for now may not necessarily be what you ask for later. Like, I'll give you an example. I used to be one of those people who wanted like mansions and like, 5 or 6, 7 cars. Now I want a cabin in the freaking woods, right? So what you want can completely change from what you wanted in the beginning. And it is okay to adjust. Just be intentional about your adjustment. Why are you adjusting? Okay. And then we have the fate, which also has a needle here. You can see this needle here. It says accepting help and guidance. Spirit is here to guide you. That needle also talks about, so when you put needle through thread, you actually are guiding the needle through the clothing or whatever it is that you're sewing together. Spirit is asking you to be very intentional, but also to accept the help that is given to you. Accept the guidance. Something about your intentionality breeds guidance, right? It breeds something that is very precise and straight to the point, and you know what you're doing and you know what you're going for, but you have to be willing to accept the help. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the ice machine in the background. But you have to be willing to accept the help, because some of you like what I talked about in the beginning is that being in the eye of the storm. Sometimes your intentionality and being very precise is about that help that you're getting, but make sure that you're intentional about the help that you're asking for. And then when it comes, actually accept the help. Don't tell spirit you want help and you want to move and you want to progress, and then spirit sends you the help and you're like, don't be like that man in the boat that's like, no, God gonna save me. I'm gonna wait for God. He sent you the help. Accept the help. She sent you the help. Accept it, okay? Then we have the priest, which talks about perseverance and faith. For some of you, the reason why you can't be more intentional about what it is that you want, because you don't have the faith and belief that you deserve what it is that you're asking for. Whatever this is, whether this is love, whether this is relationship, whether this is money, you don't believe that you deserve it. And I want to tell you, because people oftentimes will make us feel bad because we don't believe that we deserve happiness, that we don't believe that we deserve to move forward. And I am of the mind that while yes, it's the theory of like, you deserve happiness and saying to yourself, oh, I deserve it. Sometimes you don't really feel that way. And it is okay to not feel that way if you are still going to persevere and move even in fear. So for some of you, you're going to have to be intentionality about your fear. And one of the ways that I do this is if I know that there is something I want, I will talk to spirit. I will talk to my ancestors. I will talk to my guides and say, listen, I really want this, but there is a belief within me that I don't deserve this. And if I know where the belief came from, I will say that that belief came from, or at least what I can see it came from is, when I was a kid, this did not happen, but I still want to move forward because I really want this, and I want this because of A, B, C, and D. Sometimes you have to be willing to be vulnerable and place yourself before your spirit guides, before the power that is within you, and persevere and have faith even when you cannot see a way out. Okay. Then we have the muse, generosity, naivete. Some of this is us being in situations where we have to almost be like the fool, where we're moving. And I want to say this, even the fool moves with intentionality, even though he or she is not quite sure what they're going to be doing. They're stepping off a cliff. They're stepping off the cliff with the intention of it being a new beginning, with the intention of things growing, of things progressing, right? And Sometimes we're in the eye of a storm. We're in the storm because we need that breath before the cliff fall, right? And that's where some of us are at right now. We're in the eye of the needle, right? We're right there where spirit can guide us, where spirit can lead us through. But some of us have to free fall a little bit, right? And free falling doesn't mean like, I'm just going to do it and hope that spirit catches me. That's not what I mean when I say free falling. When I say free falling, I mean that you have an intention of where you want to go, but you put yourself in spirit's hands. You put yourself in the hands of your ancestors, in the hands of the spirit that is within you to fall. That's where the naivete comes from. And because of that, there will be generosity given to you because you are willing to fall away and let the outcome itself, or like, I don't want to say the goal, but like how you got to the goal, you let that go and you let spirit carry you. The intentionality is in the thing itself, not in the goal or how you get there. Okay. Then we have the musician. So it says inspiration, gratitude. Spirit is asking you to live in a place of gratitude, to be more grateful about the things that you want. Because this really feels like this is about things that you want, things that you desire. Spirit is asking you to live in gratitude around the intentionality of what it is that you want, but also live in still be grateful even if it comes to fruition, when it comes to fruition, not if, when it comes to fruition and it's not quite what you thought it was going to be. Still be grateful because it still came to fruition, right? And I just saw 1414. And then we have the diviner, which was your bottom deck energy, divine timing, evaluation. So for some of you, you're going through an evaluation period, which is what I talked about with the eye of the storm, that breath right before the fall off the cliff. You're going through an evaluation period and everything is going to happen in divine timing. So the example that I'm getting is, let's say you're standing on the edge of the cliff, you take that deep breath and you fall, right? Maybe you look down and you could not see the ground. Or maybe the ground looked closer or further away, or you saw nothing, right? Everything happens in divine timing. The hand that will catch you in divine timing, right? It may catch you quicker than you think. Let's say you fall off the cliff and 2 seconds later, excuse me, you're being caught, right? Sometimes it's in the jumping, right? A perfect example, when I went skydiving, I was terrified. Like, I'm terrified of heights, but I wanted to do it to overcome my fear of heights, right? And I was terrified, but my fear lasted all the way up until the second we fell out of the plane. Something about falling out of that plane or diving out of the plane, the fear was gone, right? Sometimes the fear is in the jump itself. The fear is in the falling itself, not the actual the consequences of the falling. That it's that in between, that unknown, that divine intervention, that timing where we're not quite sure how long we're going to be falling, or we're not sure how things are going to work out. And spirit is saying, fall into my arms and let divine timing take a hold. Okay, so we're gonna pull some cards from the energy oracle deck, I believe. Yeah, let's do the energy oracle deck. Spirit, can we get 2 cards for pile number 1, please? Oh, where are we holding ourselves back? It says the garden and the gate. Yep, you're right at the precipice, and the sun. Every time the sun comes out in any deck, I always hear the song in my head. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say, that may be a message for you. That song, maybe you may have listened to it, or you may need to listen to that song. I think it's by the Beatles. The first time I heard it, I think was The Parent Trap, I believe. But these are the cards that came out, and then the bottom deck energy is action. Okay, so places where we're holding ourselves back is we have, so I want you to see this card. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. She is at a gate. Okay, you see this gate here? It's a locked gate, but look up here. She has the key. Spirit is saying we're holding our own self back from moving forward. We need to be more intentional because the answers that we have are already within us. The answer to her getting through this gate is already within her. She has a key around her neck, but maybe she's just saying, I would love to be over there, right? Instead of being intentional about, I would love to walk through this gate. I would love to unlock this gate and be on the other side so that I can be in this field of flowers or roses or whatever the case is, whatever this is where she's at, right? Spirit is asking you to be more intentional because you're going to find with every intention, the answer is already within you. This sun card is making me think of you are the sun, but you have to take action, which is why the action card came out here. You have to take action. You are the sun. You are the way that you grow. You are in the eye of the sun, right? You are being, the sun is allowing you to grow. So think about what the sun does for plants, right? It helps them grow. It gives light, sunlight to help them grow and things like that. You need to be intentional about where you are placing your sunlight. You need to be intentional about where you're giving your sunlight, right? Because sometimes we're giving our light to other people and we are forgetting about our own self. We're not being intentional about making sure that we shine a light on our own self. And you need to be more intentional about that, because without it, you cannot take action. You cannot move forward. Okay. We're going to pull some cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck just to see if there are any additional messages that Spirit has. Wow, that was a lot of cards that Spirit might have from us. We're going to keep shuffling to see what we get. Spirit, can we get some cards, please? We're going to take fire because it came out flipped up. We have fire, strong emotion, passionate, love, or hate. Okay. Then we have three. We have mountain, major changes, major challenge to overcome. We have mountain road. You are on the road to success. And then we have candle. You will be shown the way. Yeah. So for some, like, I think I talked about that there is, the intentionality of the needle. The needle is guidance. You will be shown the way. You are on the road to success. You will face some challenges, right? We know that, we understand that there will be some challenges that we will face, but you are on the road to success, right? That fire, that passion that is burning within you, it's a strong emotion to help you be pushed forward into where you need to go. And then bottom deck energy is dog. So it says getting together with friends. So some friends may come along, and you need to be intentional about the friends that are around you. I just want to say that before I continue. But you may have some friends that are willing to help you, willing to guide you. But if you are calling in your friends, be very intentional about the friends that you are calling in, okay? So pile number one, this is all of the messages that I have for you today. I thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your own energy, and I will see you next time in your next pile. Bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Drifter card, then this is your pile. So it says Drifter, experience life as it comes. So one of the ways that I'm getting, one of the messages I'm getting is, one of the ways that you're holding yourself back is you refuse to take the wheel of your own life. You are drifting aimlessly. And I want to say this, in some places, it is okay to go with the flow. This does not feel like going with the flow. This feels like you are just drifting aimlessly through life. You are drifting aimlessly through a job, a career, a relationship, and you're not willing to take any responsibility. You're not willing to take any accountability, and because of this, you're selling yourself short, right? You could probably move down this path faster if you would be willing to take the wheel. You could avoid a lot of obstacles if you would be willing to take the wheel and help guide, or allow Spirit to help guide you to places or people or situations where you should be. But you're so busy drifting, because the image I'm getting is like somebody laying under a tree with like grapes in their hand and like a piece of wheat sticking out of their mouth, where they're just like lazing around. They're letting life pass them by, and they're not, quote unquote, taking life by the horns. They're just letting life pass them by. They're not worrying about, they're not trying to say yes, no, maybe so, nothing, right? It's just drifting aimlessly. And because you're doing this, you're selling yourself short. I will say that Spirit is also telling me to say that it's not that you're down the wrong path. You just won't help to steer your own path. Whatever you're going through, you could be done with it quicker if you would just allow Spirit to move through you and help guide you down this path. You need a lot of guidance, pile number two, specifically from Spirit and from your inner being. But right now, you're just drifting. You are a sailor without a sail. You don't know if you're going left. You don't know if you're going right. You don't know if you're going up. You don't know if you're going down. You're just drifting. And because of this, because you won't take a stand, because you won't make a choice, you are just floating. And at this point, you don't even know if you're floating backwards or if you're floating forward, right? There is an energy of, I hate to say this, but there's an energy of laziness here, where I can feel like, I feel someone's energy like saying it's not really laziness, I just don't want to make the wrong decision. And that's understandable. But in your unwillingness to make any decision, like in your unwillingness to choose or wanting to make sure that you make the right decision, you're not making any decision, right? And for some of you, this is a very specific message that I'm getting. So if it doesn't apply to you, leave it on the board. But for some of you, Spirit has given you confirmation that the ball is in your court, okay? That there is no wrong decision here. You just need to make a decision, and we will support you the entire way. Now, here's also what I'm getting. That this, you drifting aimlessly, and this is for a select few of you, this is not going to resonate with everybody. You are drifting aimlessly, okay? And because you are drifting aimlessly, you haven't made a choice. But Spirit, this is a test, okay? What you're going through right now is a test. And the test is, will you make a decision yourself and allow Spirit to show you that we will have your back no matter what you do? Will you be willing to trust and have faith in Spirit that no matter what comes, no matter what happens, that you are going to trust that Spirit has your back? You are going to trust that Spirit is guiding you down this path. But you won't know that until you actually go down the path, pile number 2. And this is a test to see if you would truly trust not only Spirit, but this is also an exercise in trusting yourself. I'll give you an example. Let's say there's a job that you want to apply for, but you believe in your heart you are vastly overqualified for this job. So because you're overqualified, you're just not going to apply. And Spirit has been giving you signs saying like, oh, you're ready for this job. You're ready. You're ready. You're ready. We just need you to apply. We're going to have your back. We're going to have your back. And you're like, well, Spirit, if you really believe that I, qualify for this job, then apply for the job for me. And then they'll just call me. And that's how I'll know that this job is for me. And Spirit is saying, no, you need to apply for the job. You need to interview and watch us work, right? Watch us have your back. Watch us support you. You won't do that though, pile number 2. And because of that, you're afraid. And I get it. When I tell you I get this, pile number 2, I get it. I would not be surprised if this is my pile, because I recently had a situation where I was just like, listen, Spirit, you're going to have to show me the moon, the stars, and then show me how you created them. And then I'll believe that this is what you want me to do. And I get it, because there's so much fear in making the wrong decision. But Spirit, for those of you in pile number 2, if this message doesn't resonate, I understand. But Spirit is saying, we have given you the sign that we're here to support you. You may have gotten several readings from people where they told you the ball was in your court, right? Spirit is saying the ball is in your court. They weren't lying. The ball is in your court. You just have to make a decision. Some of you, is almost as simple as, like, because I'm seeing, like, what do they call it? The steering wheel on the ship. I'm literally seeing something as simple as putting your hand on the steering wheel, and Spirit will do everything else. Like, think of like a Ouija board, right? When you put your hand on the Ouija board, the Spirit or whatever is connecting with you, it moves it around. Spirit is saying, for some of you, I just need you to put your hand on the wheel. You won't even put your hand on the wheel. You won't even come as close to breathing on the wheel. You're so far away from the wheel that you don't even know the wheel is there. You don't even know it's there. And Spirit is saying, we are putting the ball in your court. We are not going to do anything until you do something. Okay? So pile number 2, let's get you some message from the psychic reader deck. Spirit, can we get 3 cards, please, for pile number 2? 3 cards and a bottom deck energy for pile number 2. Any additional messages on how they may be holding themselves back. It's too many cards. We're going to keep shuffling. Any cards on how they may be holding themselves back. You got a lot of cards keep coming out. 3 cards, please, Spirit. 3 cards. Oops. Okay, we have 2. We have baby and nature. Can we get 1 more card, please, Spirit, and bottom deck energy? We have spirit guides. Wow. And then bottom, oh yeah, I knew this was going to come out. We have chakras. And I saw the rainbow card in my mind's eye, so I'm going to just show it to you. Okay. So I'm going to move these over. So let's talk about it. So right now, for some of you, there may be something that you want to do and you feel like a novice or a baby in this situation where you feel like you don't know, like you feel like, okay, let's say you feel like you've been called from spirit to do this, but you have no idea how to get this started. And because you have no idea how to get it started, you're just not doing anything. You just sitting there. And spirit is saying, just like this baby, this woman is holding this baby, we will nurture you. Okay? We will protect you. We will keep you safe. For some of you, this is about you being pregnant with an idea or an actual physical baby, and you're so terrified that you're not doing anything. You haven't bought anything for the baby. You haven't done any research about motherhood or anything like that. Or for some of you where this is an idea, you have an idea, but you haven't done any research. Just because you don't know anything, you decided, I'm not going to do any research. I'm not going to do anything. Because this won't work out for me. This was just a passing whim. This is not something spirit actually wants me to do. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. This is actually something that spirit wants you to do. Now, your second card is nature. For some of you, you need to go out in nature. A lot of your answers are going to be found in nature. And I'm literally feeling like a breeze on my feet right now. Some of your answers are going to be found in nature, in the wind, in trees, in putting your feet in the grass. Some of you need to tap more into nature. For some of you, that's where your spirit guides are at. But you need to tap into nature. So, cause something about tapping into Mother Gaia and putting your feet in the ground is always very stabilizing for me. And I feel like it will do the same for you. And in your stabilization, it may kind of, I don't want to say wipe away the fear, but give you a little bit more confidence to take another step forward and another step forward. And it'll keep you from drifting so aimlessly just throughout whatever the situation is. Okay. Then your third card is spirit guides. So to me, this is just saying that, like, one thing, like what I said, is nature is where you may find answers from your spirit guides. For others of you, your spirit guides are calling out to you. They want to help you. They understand that you feel lost, but you won't do nothing. And because you won't do anything, they can't help you. Like, it's almost like, this is what I want to say. I want you to notice how the spirit guides are on the edge and the person is in the middle, okay? They're waiting at the precipice to help you, but you have to open your arms and let them in, just like this individual did here. You have to open your arms and let them in, but part of you opening your arms, this is not a physical opening of arms. This is making a decision. So let's say you're deciding between, let's say you want to buy a house and you're deciding between one house and the other, right? But truthfully speaking, you don't physically have the funds to buy either one of these houses, so you won't make a choice, right? You're like, well, when the funds come in, I'll make a choice. And your spirit guides are saying, make a choice and the funds will come. We will come and we will help you. We will support you, but you won't even make a choice, so we can't do anything. We don't even know where to start, right? That's just an example. Your spirit guides are asking you to actually make a decision, to actually try and take some control, some accountability of your own life so that they can help guide you. So your back energy was chakras. This card actually flipped over, but it flipped over with other cards, so that's why I kept shuffling. So I'm not surprised that it came out again. This to me is more in alignment with this nature card. You really need to tap into your own intuition. You need to tap into the spirits that are within you, the guide that is within you, to have more alignment. For some of you, the reason why you can't make a decision is because your root chakra is out of alignment. You need to learn to align your chakras. Now, I am not saying they have to be aligned perfectly. I am saying you need to be on the path of alignment so that they can start to align. And then you'll find that once you start doing one thing, a lot of times other things start to take place. Other things start to shape and go into form. But you gotta start somewhere, okay? So let's get you some cards from the Cosmic Insight deck. Spirit, can we get 2 cards from the Cosmic Insight deck? Anything additional, like any additional information you want to give us about what we're drifting, what these individuals are drifting into, or not taking control of. Can we get the 2 cards? We got 2. Okay, we have challenges, which is make a decision. Make a decision, work on inner healing. Wow. And then you have fire signs. So it says Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So you may be one of these signs. And then bottom deck energy is narcissist. It says someone is too full of themselves. Okay. So it's funny that when I asked, if there anything additional, you got challenges. It says make a decision, work on inner healing. For some of you, like this, to me, this is just confirmation, right, of what we've been talking about already. For some of you, you may be a fire sign. So this could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could also be your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. I am also going to pull from the star codes deck just to see if there are any additional signs that want to come out, any planets that want to come out, or houses that may be prevalent for you right now. Spirit, can we get 2 cards, please? Oh, Lord, that was a lot. I'm going to show you this bottom deck one. The bottom one is Capricorn Achieve. There's Capricorn Achieve. There's so many that came out. I'm going to keep shuffling, but I wanted to show them to you because they flew. They flew out. Is this 2 or 3? 2. Okay. So we have the 5th house, Passion. And then we have North Node, Future. Wow. And then you have the moon, your bottom deck energy, as Perception. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting with this 5th house here, your passions. Some of you, this is what you're drifting aimlessly through. You have a passion, some things that you want to do, but because you don't know the first, let's say you have a passion for, I don't know, organizing, but you don't know how to make a career out of organizing. You don't know how to get into something like this where you can make a living from it. So you won't even start with your passion. You won't even start. You're just watching it. Like, you're just looking at it and saying, this would be so cool if I could do it, but you're not doing anything. And part of the reason why you're stuck here is because passion comes from deep within, which is why your chakras specifically might need to be aligned. I did a reading. Jesus, I can't think of the reading, but I'm thinking about, in the reading, it kept coming out that I think it was a divine feminine reading. I can't remember, but the light was emanating from the sacral chakra, and I'm getting that image right now. Some of you need to line your sacral chakra specifically so that it can tap into your more creative abilities. And I feel like something about aligning your sacral will really open up your abilities to do more, to tap more into your passion. And then you have the North Node. So to me, it says future. So it's what Spirit is asking you to do going forward. Spirit is asking you to persevere. There are a lot of future things that are happening for you. And you may be like very stuck in the past right now, and Spirit is asking you to look forward to the future. Stop looking back, because some of you, you're drifting because of past hurts, past situations that didn't necessarily work out for you, and you're just drifting aimlessly, and you're hoping that you're going to get to the future. But the truth is, you got to take some own you have to take some responsibility for where this path is leading you. Okay, you have to put your hand on the wheel, be willing to drive somewhere, or at least be willing to allow Spirit to work through you to drive. You won't even pick your hands up and put your hands on the wheel. Okay, so we're going to get some angel number cards just to see if there's any angel numbers that could be coming out for you very soon, or have some additional messages that you might need to hear at this time. Okay, let me shuffle these one time just to clear the previous energy from them. Perfect. Okay, Spirit, can we get 2 cards? Angel number cards for pile number 2. We have 1919, so it says cycles, karma, warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, change, rebirth. So some of you are definitely going through rebirth, or you've just gone through rebirth, which is why this baby card came up. It says karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control. Release the need to control, because you cannot force things. You can't force them. Learn your lessons so that they don't repeat in the future. Make some space for new experiences. There are a lot of new experiences coming for you, but you're trying to, and to me, this forcing the outcome is you don't know what the outcome is going to be, so you won't make a decision. You won't do anything. And it's almost like you're trying to force Spirit to say, tell me what this is going to be like. If you tell me what this is going to be like, then I'll go for it. And Spirit is saying there are too many changes, too much rebirth that's happening for you right now. You are a fawn who's learning how to use his legs. We just need you to try. You won't even get up and stand up and try and use your legs. Let's get one more card. So we have 1331. So it says good fortune. Look at that. Advice, comfort, major change, individuality, independence. It says have faith in your skills and talents, as they are tools They are a tool that can provide you with a bright future. I feel like I read that so wrong, so I'm gonna read it again. It says, have faith in your skills and talents, as they are a tool that can provide you with a bright future. It says, a piece of good advice, a moment of enlightenment, or a comforting message is on its way. Everything will work out in your favor. It's going to be fine. Pile number 2. You just have to try. Who is it? Pink? There's a song she sings where you got to get up and try. That's what I'm hearing in my head. That song may have a message for you. But you have to try, because good fortune is coming for you. It is around you. But you're going through a cycle of change. You got major change here. You got changes here, cycles. Then you have the baby card here, which to me talks about birth or rebirth in this case for you. It's just confirmation that things are moving forward, but you have to be willing. Sorry, I had to pick this card up off the floor. You have to be willing to accept these changes and to go for it and almost take accountability. That's what this feels like to me. You need to take accountability for where it is that you want to go in life. Okay. Bottom deck energy. Wow. Is 1221, taking initiative. It says change, optimism, joy, communication, messages, good news, expression, high vibes. Work with what you have. And it will get you places. Count your blessings and acknowledge your dear ones. You will find inspiration and figure out a way forward. You might also be getting some good news soon. Taking initiative, pile number 2. You have to take initiative, because so many things are coming in for you. Blessings, abundance is coming in for you, but you won't take initiative, pile number 2. You have to do that. It is important that you take initiative, because good things are coming in for you. You have good fortune here, then you got good news here, right? You got power here, influence. Things are changing, and Spirit understands that you're going through a challenge, but you need, let's say, make a decision, working on your inner healing, okay? For some of you, you may be called to go to therapy, I'm hearing. Please consider doing that. That's something you've been called to do, okay? Let's get you a couple of cards from the tea leaf. So we have dog. I have a couple. So it says dog, protection from a powerful friend. Then you have yoke. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. Let's get you some other cards. Spirit, can we get 2 other cards, please? Thank you. We have pineapple, reconciliation. Shield, you need to defend yourself. Bottom deck energy is teardrops. Get great personal sorrow. Sorry. I don't know why I heard get personal. Great personal sorrow. So for some of you, you've been going through this personal sorrow, right? And that's why you're drifting. You don't want to make a decision because you feel like you made a decision in the past and it didn't work out. And Spirit is saying it's not that it didn't work out. It just wasn't, it didn't live up to your expectations of it working out, but it worked out perfectly. Okay. Then you have dog, protection from a powerful friend. You have some friends, like to me, this is your spirit guides coming through to saying that we are here to protect you, but you have to move. Then you have yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. You have to move. Pile number 2, you are tying your own self down. This is not you being tied down. You're tying your own self down. To me, I'm seeing the image of like the devil card in tarot, where the chain is around their neck, but it's so loose. All they have to do is pick it up and remove the chain. And I know for some of you may be saying that's easier said than done. It's not in your case. All you have to do is try something. There's almost like a, I don't want to say like desperation, but it feels a little bit like desperation from Spirit saying like, we just need you to try. Like you won't even try. We can't do anything for you. We're just watching. Your spirit guys is almost like they're annoyed. Like we're watching you and we want to help you, but you won't even try. Okay. And then we have pineapple, reconciliation. To me, this is also talking about your spirit guides, but this is also feel like it's talking about you reconciling with yourself, reconciling with the person that you used to be. Because I imagine prior to you drifting, you used to be such a vibrant person. And now you're letting the things that, I don't want to say ruin you, but cause you to drift. They're holding you back. That's what's holding you back. The things in your past, and you're going to have a chance to reconcile with yourself. The old you, the person that you used to remember, you're going to have a chance to have reconciliation with this person. And then you have shield. It says you need to defend yourself. To me, this is Spirit saying that part of you drifting so aimlessly is you let all your defenses down. You think because you're not choosing that your defenses are up and you're protected, but if anything, it's made it worse because now you cannot move yourself out of tumultuous and bad situations because you are just laying there, right? You're getting the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent, okay? And then you have teardrops, which is great personal sorrow. So to me, this is whatever happened. This is the energy of whatever happened to cause you to drift aimlessly is what this great personal sorrow is, and it is holding you back. Okay, it is holding you back. And I'm not saying that you cannot experience sorrow. I am saying that everything is cyclical, right? Everything is a cycle. And you have the opportunity to come out of that cycle. And I am begging you to do so. Okay, pile number 2. So this is all of the messages that I have for you. I am sending you so much love. Thank you so much for staking it out with me and allowing me to tap into your energy. And I will see you next time in your next reading. Bye.